Hi everybody, we're back for another episode of Hardcore Survival Direwolf20 Floating Islands. Now previously I made the lava generator, which is from extra utilities. Now it's not the most efficient way to generate power from lava, but it is less expensive because it's quite an expensive it's quite expensive to build other things in thermal expansion. But as you can see, the lava generator, although it was 5 gold ingots, it took me quite a while to get. That was possible to do, where some of the other thermal expansion engines takes quite a bit more. Now, what we want to do in the next few episodes, perhaps, is to get my ore processing going. So, kind of setting up a bit of an engine room. Machine room where I do all the machines. Now I've cleared up this space here up to this point. This is spawn protect, so I can't go any further this way, but that's alright. This is actually quite a big space, and I don't think I'll ever fill these with machines. So what I would like to do is I like to kind of run the wiring down here so that I can put my machines on top of the wiring to supply power to them. I want to do something where I put the generator down here. So I'm going to put the generator in there, and as you can see, it needs lava, so I can manually fill it with buckets, but I can also put a tank on top of the generator. So what I'll do is I'm going to run cables here, lead cables. Now you get some really expensive cables as well from thermal expansion, but the cables I want to use is not that expensive. I'll just show you the cables that I like to use. So I think it's these leadstone energy conduits, which can take 80 redstone flux, and those aren't that expensive. You need 6 redstone and then glass and 2 lead ingots, and that gives you 6 of these cables. I think it's also quite a good idea to make a leadstone energy cell, which I think could be expensive potentially. No, it's not too bad. It's a block of redstone. Oh, seems like we had a bit of a crash there. And we're back. So I have my lava generator here, and what I would like to do is run perhaps 1 or 2 cables here, and then put in a kind of a battery unit, a storage unit of sorts. And what I like to use for that is a leadstone energy cell. Now, to make a leadstone energy cell, you need copper ingots, and you need redstone conductance coil and electrum ingot. An electrum ingot you make from electrum blend, which is pulverized silver and pulverized gold. So we're still a little way away from actually putting in a leadstone energy cell, but the actual once you have the redstone conductance coil, and then you need to make a leadstone energy cell frame. Now that's not too expensive, that's just lead, glass and redstone. But I think for starters, what I really will do is just to have my lava generator there, and then to just run my energy cables this way and put my machines on top of that, and I can always move things around a bit to perhaps put the energy cell there in the end, and then put the engine deeper into that way there. So I'll go ahead and do that. So what I'd like to do is I like to make these cables, these leadstone energy conduits. They can, as I said before, they can transfer 80 redstone flux per tick. which is not a lot if you're making really big machines and big generators, but it's really good for us initially, because with the lava generator I don't think it actually puts out that much anyway. If we look up the lava generator, which is that one there, that generates, doesn't actually tell me how much it outputs, but I don't think it's going to be more than the 80 redstone flux that can be handled by the redstone cables. So we'll first go ahead and make some of those cables we need. And then we'll set up a few machines. From previous mining trips, we have a really good amount of lead. I grabbed a bit of lead there, but it's all unprocessed, so it's still lead ore. And that's really why I want to get the processing going and get the machines going, because at this point in time, the only way to process to double our ores is to use our grinding stone, which is very time consuming. But it does work. It just takes a bit of time, and every time we need to make a crank to actually make it work. So I'll just grind up this lead ore, and then I can go ahead and make those cables I need. I've cooked up some lead ingots. So to make my my cables, my leadstone energy conduits, what I need is, I need some redstone and 2 lead ingots and 1 glass, and that gives me my cables. So what I want to do is run these cables just from the generator, and perhaps put the first machine here and just keep running the cables there, and this is going to supply power to all my machines. Now I think one of the tools that we need is a thermal expansion tool, and it's I think it's a crescent, it's called the crescent hammer. That's the one. Now for the crescent hammer I need 3 iron ingots and 1 tin ingot. So I'll just get the material to make a crescent hammer. I'll show you how you use the crescent hammer to disassemble machines and cables. Okay, so I need 3 iron ingots, and I don't have any tin ingots, but I have tin dust, so I can just cook up the tin dust. And I only need 1 tin ingot for this, 1 in the middle and 3 iron. Now I like to use a crafting station. It's very easy to make a crafting station. You just typically have a crafting table, take the crafting table out, put it back again, and then it changes into a crafting station. The advantage of a crafting station is if I go away from it, the items doesn't drop out. So for instance, if I was making a crescent hammer like this, and I put my iron ingots in there, and then I realize that I'm missing something and I need to go away and get it and then come back again, my items stay in there so it doesn't fall out, and I can save a bit of time that way. Alrighty, and that gives me a crescent hammer. Now I can use the crescent hammer, basically shift or sneak and then right click, and that picks up these items again. And the same is true for I think this, no, I can't pick up the lava generator, probably because it's part of extra utilities, but I can pick up the cables because that's part of thermal expansion, and the crescent hammer is part of thermal expansion as well. So I'll just put my cables down where I want to put my machines, like for instance this, I should put it down there, so I'll just go grab my crescent hammer. If I right click, nothing happens. Shift right click, I get my cable back, and I can put it down again. And that's just a way to pick up the cables. You can actually take them down with your pickaxe, but it takes a bit longer. What's good about these cables is if you hit them with your pickaxe by accident, they don't just drop. So that's quite a good thing. It takes a while before they drop. Okay, so I'm going to make my next machines. Now for my next machine, I really want to make a pulverizer to process all the ores. So a pulverizer is another thermal expansion machine, and for that I'll need copper ingots, flint, a piston, which is easy, machine frame, and again we're running into a little bit of problems here with gold ingots, so I'm going to have a problem with gold all the way through when making these things, especially the machine frames. So I'll need to come up with a plan there as to how I will get gold, and that's going to be a bit of a process to do that. But otherwise, redstone receptacle coil, again gold. So really, before I can actually build the pulverizer, I need 2 gold ingots. So I'll need to find a way to do that. Now what I've been doing is the only source of gold we have at the moment is that gold oreberry bush over there. So that's slowly really giving us these gold oreberries, which if we cook them up we would get 3 gold nuggets from it, and then that we need 9 gold nuggets actually to get a gold ingot. So we can slowly kind of get the gold from there, but it is a bit of a slow process. While I come up with a plan to find a way to get more gold, I will probably fire up this lava generator and see if it can start to generate a bit of power. Now what I like to do with these is I like to put a lava tank on top of it. I have a tank in the nether on top of the pump that's actually pumping lava into the tank. Now there's different types of tanks we can get. I think what I've been using is just a portable tank, which is 8 buckets of lava. There is a hardened portable tank, which is a better one, which takes 16 buckets, and then of course you get an even bigger one, which is reinforced. I think the reinforced one is out of the question in terms of affordability. It's just too expensive. This the standard one that takes 8, that just uses a copper ingot and some glass bricks, some glass, just normal glass really, any type of glass. The next one up that can take 16, that's really just invar ingots. Now invar ingots can be expensive again, because I think you need invar dust for those, and that's pulverized iron and pulverized ferrous metal. So that's really too expensive for us to handle at this stage. So all I need to go what I'm going to do is make myself another portable tank, and then I can actually change the 2 tanks around. So I can have 1 tank on here, and then when that runs empty I can go back to the nether, swap it around with the other tank that's there, and that way I can supply almost an unlimited amount of lava to my lava generator. So what we'll do first is we'll make a portable tank. So for that I need glass and a copper ingot. I have glass, I just need a copper ingot. So I'll go and grab a copper ingot quickly. And that gives me a portable tank. Then I can go and have a quick visit to the nether. I'm still really interested in trying to catch something in my little trap. As I explained before, I put some nether bricks here, and I really liked something to spawn on the nether bricks that I can kill, preferably a blaze, because we still need to get the ability to fly, or some of us do. I think none of us now yet have the ability to fly. It's will also help to just get a gas, and then I can morph into a gas and I can fly. That's going to make traveling between the different floating islands much easier. But at the moment, we're just going to visit the nether to change tanks over. So there's 8 millibuckets of lava in here, 8,000 millibuckets of lava in here. So I think I just need to grab my my crescent hammer, shift and right click, and that frees that one up, so I can pop that one on there again, and it's supposed to fill up. Now there's a trick to this. I think I need to change, I don't know if I need to change this around so that that bit goes is orange at the bottom, or whether it needs to be blue at the bottom, but I need to put this engine on to pump the lava back on. And that should pump the lava back into the machine. I've had it switched off because it filled up the lava, the entire tank, and then of course it started getting red. And I know redstone engines are not supposed to explode, but I thought, well, I won't want my valuable resources to be blown up for whatever reason. So that's definitely charging up. I can see the Buildcraft power building up in that, and that's supposed to, when it gets enough power, it's supposed to pump lava into this. So we'll see how we go. I'll just head back at this stage. Okay, and I'll just put my portable tank on top of there, and that should actually run into the lava generator. If it's not, if it's got blue on top and it's not running down, I think I should change that to orange. Yep, and that's actually filled it up, and you can see how it's now full of lava. The tank's down to 4 buckets, and it's still, some of the lava is still flowing down into the lava generator, and you can see how the lava generator is charging up. So the lava generator is charged up to 37, 38, 39,000, 40,000 reflux, redstone flux, and that's building up power there. So we should have power later when we want to run our machines. Now I've discovered something looking at this. I can see that the portable tank says mode output. You can see that, mode output, and it's got the orange at the bottom. So I just need to go back to the nether and just check that tank that I got there is on input. Mode input. Okay, so this is correct. So so when you change these things, you can change it from output to input by using right clicking with the crescent hammer. But I can see that it's now on input, so now it will fill up again, and it's building up power again on the pump, and eventually this will fill up the tank, and then once I run out of lava I can come back here and swap the tanks around again, and that will be all I need to do to keep my energy requirements going. And I'm going to just do a quick check again there, see if anything has spawned in there. Now I might have to actually get more nether bricks here just to increase my chance to get more the chance for something to spawn there. I would love for a blaze to spawn here, and if I can kill a blaze I can then morph into a blaze, and that will give me the ability to fly, which would be absolutely fantastic. Okay, so we can see how the tank is actually running empty into the machine, and the machine is charging up. And the machine is now showing 173, 175,000, and it keeps on going. And that stores 500,000 redstone flux, which is quite a good amount of stored power. I think I'm going to put a bit of stairs in here when jumping up and down here, and I really don't need to do that. If I put stairs in here, it's going to be much easier. I'll just have to plan how I'm going to do this with the stairs. I might move it over there and then come up there. One thing that's important to note about the lava generator is that it's not efficient in the way that it keeps burning the lava that it's got stored in the lava tank. So even though it's fully charged, 500,000 redstone flux, it will keep burning the lava that's there, and it will basically run the tank empty. So maybe one thing I might do with these tanks is I might just keep a chest here close by that I can use, and I can put my tanks in there without depleting all the lava that's in the tanks, because if I leave a tank up there, it's simply just going to dump all the lava into the lava generator, and once it's full, it will just continue using up the lava. So it's not efficient in that way, but I'll keep my tanks perhaps over here and just change them when I need to fill it up again. And I'll just use my crescent hammer again to take the tanks off. Yep, so that's still burning down the lava, and it's full. And I'll just perhaps put a chest over here and just put my tanks in here. But it might be time again to go and take this portable tank back and see if the other tank is filled up, so I can have 2 full tanks up here. Okay, so this one is still filling up. It's not quite full. Once this redstone engine heats up, it will actually fill these tanks quite quickly. The redstone engine, of course, is the lowest tier engine, but it's very cheap. You only need 1 redstone to make it work. And this tank is almost full, so it's not bad at all. Let's just see if we have any surprises in our trap. Nothing yet. I don't know if this is too close to the point where I come into the nether, whether it's too far, whether I'm too close and it won't actually spawn here. I'll make some adjustments later to this. Right, so that tank should now be full. Now normally you'll have a dimensional anchor or something here to keep the engines running, but we can't really do that because we can't afford it at this stage. Right, so I'll just take this tank off, and I'll put the other tank on and input. Now look at how quickly it fills up, especially now that the redstone engine is running at maximum speed. That's filled up quickly with 4 buckets. That's fine. Now I can just leave that here and come and collect it later. Good stuff. And I'll just put my tank here, ready to use when I need power for my engines, for my machines.